Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the South Afrifur podcast. Listening to myself, Ivic Wolf, and my co-host is Scratch, as always.
Yep.
High energy as always, as well.
Dude, it's hot as hell here, okay? And I was working over the weekend. Cut me some slack.
Full of energy. Absolutely wonderful.
You're never that high energy when you start. You're not like... It was... Somewhere, what you did now was somewhere between your normal intro and Good Morning Vietnam, essentially.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Okay, seriously, that clipped shit. That like clipped the audio input. Never do that again. Also, remind me to never mention Good Morning Vietnam around you again. Ever.
Yay!
You idiot.
How's it, guys? Obviously you're listening to us here at the South Afrifur Podcast Center, 2,000 kilometers away from one another. Myself and Scratch are probably always going to be lagging in some way, shape, or form, as Scratch generally lags in brain and I lag in social skills.
Excuse me, come again.
Okay, you are the engineer and I'm the liberal arts, so...
Master's degree in engineering, let me just point that out.
I get that, but I don't care. Because at the end of the day, when I get a master's degree in social arts and education, I'm literally just going to be in the same pay grade, just with a higher amount of money. No, actually, not even, just a higher amount of bullshit. Yeah. So I think that I'm not sure if that actually went through. If the chat could hear us, are we going? Are we going? I can't tell. Hey?
Maybe the song just...
Yeah?
Are we live? Can anybody hear us?
Okay, we're live.
Good.
Whew, thank God.
Do not want a repeat of last week. I fucking...
No. Half an hour of fighting.
Yeah.
So yeah, as some of you guys might have been seeing on our Twitter feed, on our Twitter feed.
Want to try that again? Where can they find us?
And on Telegram.
Oh yeah.
Twitter
Okay.
and Telegram. And those are the only places
Not
now.
and. Continue with your statement.
We've dropped away from Facebook, particularly because Facebook
Is a cluttered mess.
Weird platform. It really is a mess that currently. I'm not even sure that anything's going on. Apparently everybody hears us. This is good to hear. Firstly, one of the things that I'd like to say is that obviously those of you guys who know, was it last week?
Yes.
Wednesday. What? Tuesday? Monday? This week?
What happened?
This last week?
What was it that happened?
That we went live. I know that we went live last week Sunday.
With con registrations.
The con registrations, yes.
Yes, somewhere in this week at least.
So we did actually go live, and with that particularly, in that, yeah, con registrations are open. That's a thing. It took us a while to get there. Apparently, is any of this real? Is this a simulation? Red pill, blue pill?
Nothing matters. Just enjoy the ride.
Yes, just enjoy the ride. Just don't take either pill. Both of them are drugs.
I found them in the couch.
Yeah. Crap, is that where you found them?
Yeah.
I thought they were jelly beans.
You thought wrong, bitch.
That's one of the reasons why we're still here.
For now.
Yeah. So you're drinking a beer?
No, this is a thermos bottle. Keeps the limited amount of water I have, thanks to our government, cold.
Huh. Cool. Thermos bottle. Keeping your water cold because the government doesn't want it. Don't make it squeak.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually, Sudan says that we went live late on Saturday, so that's great. So those of you who are listening and who haven't registered yet, please go to south-afrifur.co.za and book your spot as soon as possible. I hope you guys are going to meet us there. One of the things, there's a lot to talk about actually. Beyond the idea that we've changed venues, Prices are
The same.
staying the same, pretty much. Particularly because the venue that we have is actually far. It's not even far cheaper. It is actually a lot cheaper than the previous venue. It's really, really cool as a venue for starters as well. If you guys actually want to have a look at it, once again, go to south-afrifur.co.za and have a look at some of the images that we have on there. It's a place called Getaway Coaches. And for those of you who don't know about coaches, these are train coaches that have been repurposed and turned into sleeping quarters on what can only be assumed to be an old platform in South Africa. Because as far as I remember, when we spoke to the people who were working there or who own the place, they said that it used to be a platform for, I think, the coal trains and things like that, and possibly also passenger trains, until they decided to find a more populated area to put the next station at. So pretty much it's literally a rundown, not rundown, but I mean a dead train station, a repurposed train station. Normally they do bachelor parties, so this is definitely up our alley. Most people that we've heard this from, the previous venue as well, I think was also for sometimes bachelor parties. They've said that like the vast majority of people that they've had as guests were the rowdiest people around. And we were actually very, very nice to be with, given that they were also a very Christian venue.
You're shitting me. The people from that place were like, thank you guys for. They were actually like happy with our, you know.
Yeah, our patronage. Thank you for your yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
did not expect that.
Yeah. Consumed uphill, everything is now completely clear. Thank you, Kit, for letting us know that everything is clear. I hope you find the way.
Is the rain gone? Can you see the obstacles in your way?
Yes. I really hope so. But yeah, jeez. I was about to go directly into a meme that is currently like trending on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, goodness knows where. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's kind of why I steered away from that. Like I saw you wanted to go down the road, and I was like, that is not the way. We're going a different direction.
Okay, that is not the way. Because and you can ask Doja Badge about this. Is that I have unfortunately been able to do the accent far better than I've ever wanted to be able to. And yeah, I don't know. Whoa, okay. Bravura is popping a whole bunch of photos. So you guys can have a look at that. Furries, hold my beer, says Sudan. Abandoned rundown train station. Thank you, Windy. Because now that doesn't sound creepy at all.
It's a repurposed train station. It's not abandoned or run down. Well,
yeah.
I suppose as a train station, it's abandoned and run down, but it's repurposed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the hipsters call recycling.
Hey, I repurposed all the black bags that we were using a whole bunch of weeks back. I just decided to throw all the trash into the dustbin without the trash bags, and now I've repurposed them as raincoats. Also, do note that I didn't wash them out.
Yeah. How far is that from the truth? How far is that from actually happening? I'm just asking. Asking for a friend.
Well, goodness knows.
I have one word. I have one word that like brings that into context. Pallets.
Yeah. Oh well, pallets. Yeah, fair enough.
Just saying.
Windy still doesn't think that they've been Have you seen the pictures, Windy? Look at them.
They are
the
pristine.
place is beautiful.
They're
okay.
Pristine.
Very pristine, very clean. Dusty sometimes because wind happens, but very clean.
do not start shit.
Do not make me angry. It wouldn't like. Well, I'm already green. Damn it. Lol. I have a chinchilla staring at me from the cage, very, very longingly. Every single time I come close to him, he runs away. I don't know what to do with this information.
It's because you yell too much.
I said, no, he apparently, I don't know. He was very cool yesterday. Ta-da!
Sorry,
Um,
message.
so yeah, some of the things that we'd like to talk about, I guess, there's a lot to talk about again. If you guys have any questions about the venue, about what we're doing, about how we're doing it, about a whole bunch of things, more than welcome to ask. We did put a lot of effort into trying to find places in Cape Town, for instance. That didn't pan out because Cape Town's firstly thirsty.
Yep. Thirsty like
And
all the time.
yeah, but not thirsty in the like new contemporary way of saying thirsty, but literally
Yeah.
there is
Not
like
the
no water.
not the damn that bitch thirsty way. It's like I've just been out in the desert and I am thirsty way.
Yes, yes. Bravura asks if we're going to do a barbecue at the convention. As far as I know, there is a spit braai available. Spit braai, for those of you guys who didn't. It's not that kind of spit either. Badge is giving me like raised eyebrows, like nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more, say no more.
Is your wife a girl?
And we also, and we also have a large amount of wood for bonfires. Apparently, 2 bucky loads of wood will be dropped off per day. So those of you guys who are thinking about saving the trees,
Too late.
well, too late.
Take that, nature. 1-0.
My gap, y'all.
Oh my god, y'all. A parole, darling.
So apparently, I should tell them about the fires. Bonfires. Those of you guys who know all about bonfires, we set them alight all the time. And at the end of the day, what we do is that we use those fires that we have set to actually use to, braai meat on, to barbecue meat on. Unlike people who have these weird electrical contraptions with gas that, like, seriously, steals the soul out of the, what's the word? The camaraderie of what a braai is or a barbecue is. Honest.
Yeah, like I can understand this not the need for it, but like I understand where it's coming from, but it just I don't know. It doesn't feel quite the same. If you're locked up on space and like you don't really have a proper place to make fire, then obviously the way if you still want to have grilled meat properly, then I guess you have to go gas, but still.
Not true.
So
Apparently, Sudan asks whether it's a spit braai or a swallow braai.
Sudan.
Vag is apparently the only person who's impressed by this joke.
She's still making.
What happened there?
I
Are you
coughed.
dying? Don't die. Please don't die.
Okay, I'm alive now. Gas braai superiority, says Yod. Marshmallows are... Of course, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Hank
Marshmallows should
Hill.
be brought.
Go away. Hank Hill?
What?
King
What?
of the Hill? I'm gonna say.
What?
That boy ain't
At least you don't smell like smoke. I love the smell of smelling like
I would.
wooden smoke.
Okay,
I wouldn't trade that for the world. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd rather smell like braai smoke than cigarette smoke. I prefer
Agreed.
the way my hoodie smells after standing outside by a braai fire than I do after a night of drinking and like people around me smoking.
As Sudan says, hashtag fair enough. Sudan actually says that the vast majority of the wood that we use is from an invasive species, that of the blue gum tree. It burns very well, is also used as matches.
Yep. And also,
In fact,
can go fuck itself.
Yeah, blue gum can go fuck itself, particularly because we're going to try to cut down as many blue gums as we possibly can eventually in South Africa. Particularly, it is A, an invasive species, and B, it's also the reason why the vast majority of people die in South Africa when it comes to forest fire. If a forest fire is set anywhere near a blue gum reservation, literally, it's unstoppable. like you have to wait until every single tree has literally just been burnt away, particularly because of the way that it lights itself on fire. The oil from the blue gum tree is literally if you've ever struck a match, actually, and you look at the match itself, if you look very, very close to where the head of the match is, and you see that weird sort of oil that comes off of the rest of the match as it burns, that oil is literally oil from the blue gum tree itself. That is how flammable that stuff is.
Fascinating. Also, the fact that it's an invasive species is, like, it draws up way more water than the native plants, so it kills everything around, it kills most of the trees around it, and it's sort of contributing to why Cape Town is running out of water, because it just draws so much water out of the aquifer. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Large amounts of water out of the aquifer. Any case, back on topic. So, again, we can probably also blame the Australians for it, because they pretty much said, hey, here's an investment. Grow these trees in your place. Or hundreds. Yeah?
I think we could just...
Or was it the English?
Yeah, we could pull it back to the English. Like, we could pull everything back to the English.
Is it... Look, the blue gum is Australian, but the thing is that I'm pretty sure that it was half and half the English's fault for bringing it to South Africa anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, and they brought that god-awful sport cricket along with them. Ugh.
Hey.
Yeah?
Hey. Any
Cricket's
case, back
dumb
on
and slow.
topic.
The best thing that happened to cricket was the T20. End of statement. I can hear you seething.
I know. Any case, so some of the things that are happening for South Afrifur currently, and some of this actually comes from our good friends from Europe. Particularly, thirdly, fifthly, seventhly, 20thly. We'd like to thank everybody who has actually donated from the Furry.fm side towards the convention so far. It's absolutely wonderful that we could actually get that kind of amount, that
support
kind of interest, that kind of support from you guys. It really, really does mean a lot to us. We're still also considering using the Wolf Sanctuary as our charity, but we are open to other suggestions here in South Africa. Those of you who are listening, we're open to suggestions. Halsey, Buglish, who else is here? Kink, Sudan, Windy, Yote, Guest 291, and Guest 900. If you guys have any suggestions for a charity that you'd like us to donate to, as well, more than welcome to put them up. We'll weigh up the pros and cons. Good evening, Kink, by the way. So yeah, that's pretty much that in respect to the donations. Again, we're really, really, really happy that you guys are as interested in the convention as we are about this, and that you guys want to see us succeed. Really, really do enjoy that support, and it's very, very amazing. If you guys do want to continue supporting us on the furry.fm website itself, there is in fact a support us button. And you guys can actually just click on that. It's supposed to drop down, but it's not dropping down for me right now, which is concerning. In fact, it seems furry.fm is actually frozen for me. Cool. Woo. Okay, that's interesting. Crap happened. It's back on track. There's Patreon, there's donation commissions, there's donations via PayPal, things like that. If you guys do want to donate to the convention, you're more than welcome to. We will try to we are obviously going to find some form of use for that amount of money, even if you guys can't come. Some of the things that we also want to talk about is obviously we're at a train station, or at least a repurposed train station. So our first thoughts when it came to this was, Wild West was going to be our considered theme. Again, those of you who've been to the website itself at south-afrifur.co.za, you guys can have a look. See, there's a picture by Esky Works. There is a link to them there as well. That's Wolf Nymph. We actually asked them if we could use that picture. They're like, cool, great, good stuff. Use that.
I think
You're more than
they
welcome to
asked
do
us.
that. Oh, we did? What?
Yeah, I believe.
I can't remember the minutia of that.
Let me find the chat, but just keep going.
But yeah, so we're going to be using Wild West is our theme for this year. Shut up and take my money, says Sudan. Fora Animal Rescue says Yote is a good place to go to. Halcyon says support my peasant cousin's captivity.
Oh no, we did ask the artist. My bad.
Yeah, that's as far as I remember. So yeah, if you guys do want to support us, just go on to fur.fm. There is a drop down, support us. PayPal one might be the easiest one to support us in. I'm not necessarily sure how that entire thing works. I personally hate asking for money.
Yes, you do.
It's I don't know if that holds us back or not. From like getting really fun goodies, but yeah, I really don't like the idea of asking for money.
Understandably, but I mean,
yeah,
we're not asking. We are opening ourselves up for donations.
Yes, we are opening ourselves. Thank you. That sounds so much more.
It's
PC and it makes me feel a little bit better on.
A little bit more douchey, but still. It's like it's like the sort of the financial equivalent of I'm just gonna put this here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if anyone, we have received like a little some donations, and if anyone would be keen on putting any more money, sending any more money our way to, I don't know, maybe help pay for some cooler raffle prizes or some more activities we can do during the con. Feel free. You can make a suggestion what the money should be used for if you'd like, I suppose. Yeah, we are open to any suggestions from the outside, and yeah.
Beyond that, Bravura does actually say that the PayPal donations will come directly to us. So if it does go onto Furry.fm, maybe just make a notation or something that says that it's either going to the convention itself, or obviously, I mean, we're always up for donations, or we're opening ourselves up for donations in respect to, the work that we do on Furry.fm. Whichever one you guys want to donate to, let us know. Put it down into the in the comments in that page description thing.
Doobly-doo.
You guys know what you're doing. Just do your things. I trust you completely and inherently. And apparently Badge says fool from the other room. We're also possibly looking at a little con booklet which will be coming through there. We are trying to make things better than they were last year. Not that they were bad last year, but we can always improve. So, I mean, there's a theme this year, for instance, that being Wild West. We're looking into cowboy hats and what are those things called? Bandanas.
And suitable ephemera for something that is themed around the cowboys. There is a good chance for a poker table as well. During a poker evening somewhere along the line. But yeah, everything that we finalize will be listed in the final itinerary.
One of the things that we can also do is that we can have like a Nerf Wild West fight with everybody having one Nerf dart, and you do the whole 20 paces thing. That might be interesting. Winner gets a lick.
20 paces is going to be far, though.
Okay, fine. 10 paces.
Nerf is closer to 5. I think it's more a case of just like a sort of a standoff. Just like bell rings, first person to shoot.
Probably like fursuit versus human. We'll see who happens to aim better.
First versus skins.
Don't look at me like that. What the hell? Take the sexy out of every single comment I make. Fine, it's Badge. Okay.
Nothing.
We're obviously also looking at special. What's the word? It's all the same as last year in respect to food and things like that. Food is paid for by your con registration. Sleeping places paid for by your con registration. All of the stuff that you pay for, in respect to the 1,500 Rand or the $121. Somewhere around about there. That's just $1. In euro, it sounds like it's even less. but yeah, so for that you get full accommodation, 3 meals a day, access to most of our activities that we're going to be doing, and pretty much it's that's what you pay for. You're paying for food, accommodation, the works. Apparently, Kit Traden wants me to lick him. Great stuff.
We'll take that offline.
Well, we'll take that offline, and I'll need to ask a certain other fur's permission to be able to do that. If you want, that prefer can also do that in my stead if he feels uncomfortable with it. Licking Kit.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, back on track.
Yes. So yeah, everything for around about 1,490 rand, probably 10 rand is I can't remember what the toss up was about, but it is a large amount of shit for.
Mm-hmm.
But Ivic, tell us about the super sponsors, says Badge from right next to me.
Can we turn the peanut
Yes.
gallery off?
No, there's no such thing as turning the peanut gallery off. The peanut gallery is fully in working condition currently. Super sponsors, we're still working on some of the gifts. We're looking at the hats, the bandanas,
The
personalized badges, shirts as well. We haven't hashed this out as well, but those are pretty much the general super. Say what? Pay before May and you get one free stripper.
I'd like
They're
to
not that cheap here.
Yeah, I just like to maybe change that to pay before May. Period. Pay before May.
Pay before May. Pay before May. It's a lot easier for us to be able to both track and ensure that all of the things that you want to get if you're a sponsor, a super sponsor, even a participant, or pretty much anything along the lines of that, paying before May will ensure that you get absolutely everything that you pretty much can and want to get out of the convention,
including OBS accommodation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure this place has a limit.
Limit is, as far as I remember, I think the limit was around about 100 people last time I checked. So we do have 100 spots open. Those of you guys who are looking to come this way, obviously we have a couple of international guests who have both shown interest and have already at least registered.
Mm-hmm.
Bravura, I'm looking at you. But yeah, please register, get those payments in as soon as possible so that we can make sure that this convention works as smoothly as possible. Before May, preferably, but we have until the end of June for all payments to be done.
Yes. It'd be nice if it happened all beforehand, of course.
Yeah. Would be nice. But again, everybody else's personal funding and whatnot pending. Again, the registration, you don't have to make a payment straight up. You can just register and say that I am going, and you can also say which bracket you want to sit in already, so that at least we have your name on record. And as soon as your name is on record, then we can actually start talking from there and that. So apparently $100 is half a month's salary for some people. Agreed, fair enough.
Then start saving.
Wow. Then start saving, yeah.
Like I know,
but
that's
again,
like
we
a douchey thing to say, but yeah, I mean,
yeah. Beyond that, we do have payment options. I myself am on a payment option. Actually, like I pay. Currently, I'm paying around about 750 rand a month to be able to get to the super sponsor. Also, some people have actually, and this is something I was speaking to Pottery the other day, and I asked him, like, is it a thing that people who organize the con don't necessarily pay for the con themselves? He said that it's actually a done thing, and I was going to sit in there going, like, huh, okay. We're not doing that. All of us, everybody who's on our team, pays for their own con ticket and everything like that. We also pay for either, like some people last year, for instance, who were on our team, were only say sponsor or participant level, but the thing is that we've all paid our tickets, so it's nothing like nepotism or goodness knows what else. Sudan says that your beard is glorious. Scratch.
Is it?
Sponsors to get yes. Windy says sponsors to get to touch your beard. Super sponsors get to put.
If I see the word glitter anywhere in chat,
Oh, glitter! Oh, you're thinking glitter.
dude, fuck no, that stuff is an absolute the bane of my existence. It is difficult to get out of everything, especially so facial hair.
Nah. Lol. Apparently, at least 3 furs from Switzerland are coming. That's sure. I mean, that's literally, what's the word? A 200% increase of international furs that are coming through. Our website is obviously yes, that as well. There are people, in fact, Trace and Kit, I believe, are interested from America. I know that there could be about 2 or 3 other people from America who are also interested in coming. So we're growing in many senses of the words in respect to, where we sort of started all the way back in 2015 with just plans to action of the second plans. Another thing that we can actually talk about is that super sponsors, if you guys have actually looked at the website Getaway Coaches here in South Africa, the coaches are worked out in a way that there's a coach with double beds, like queen size, I believe. Then there's another coach with 3/4 beds, and then there's another coach with 2 separate beds in it. And we're pretty much sort of kind of going to be looking at working the sponsor levels into those kinds of areas. Obviously, for people who are together and say sponsor level, for instance, might be able to get a sponsor coach. We're also looking at first come, first serve, but we'll also be looking at what is needed for these coaches in respect to people who are together, who may not be together, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And then there's, we were also kind of looking at the Alaskan Railway as another possibility. That could be something for future talk. Tears for bandanas. This was actually one of the interesting things that we actually came up with in respect to super sponsor gift, is that we were looking into having a framed full badge piece, because obviously the badges that we had last year were chest up. I just need a cough quick.
Yeah, the previous badges were just sort of a bust shot more than anything else. So this year we are looking into, at least on the super sponsor level, to have a full length character. What's his name?
Yeah,
full length character portrait.
Yeah. One of the things that we'll also be doing with that is we're also looking at possibly framing those. For those of you who want frames, you can obviously choose. That'll come up in the questionnaires that we're that will be proliferated onto the site as soon as possible. One of the ideas that we actually had for the con logo would be a silhouette of a cowboy fur. That's actually pretty interesting. All right, Bravura is doing an intro video for the South Afrifur convention. I think Scratch and I kind of talked about that in person.
Briefly, yes.
Very briefly, but we'll definitely be looking into things like that. So we're kind of trying to go one step further in respect to what we're doing for the convention and how we're going to be doing it. We spent, I think, what was it, since July, attempting to get information from furs around us in respect to what they would like to see at the convention. We've taken a lot of that into account for the new one. Hell, goodness sakes, there are horse rides available and
4x4
bike
ATV,
ride.
sorry, ATV.
Yeah, ATV rides available at the convention. There's like a whole bunch of things.
Cash bar.
Yeah. Cash bar. Yes, that's also a thing. It's not a BYOB. It's not bring your own booze like last year. In fact, you are going to be told to not bring your own booze, particularly because we have a cash bar available. Barman will be running at least until 2 a.m. in the morning. If people want to, if people want to stick around and drink until 5, more than welcome to. But if there aren't enough people drinking beyond a specific time, they will probably close early.
Understand.
But the thing is that the bar will be open. There is a bar there. The booze is relatively cheap. We're looking at 25 rand, which I think is the word. Let me see. Double brandy and coke, 25 rand. $2 rand.
Oh yeah. To anyone who's not sort of used to that concoction, yeah, brandy and coke, aka cognac and cola, is
that what it is?
Oh, well, cognac is a fancy brandy, so yeah, it's a more fancier kind of brandy.
Okay, you mean the 15-year, like,
well,
lost in a barrel
if you want to be like foo about it, then yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
so
one of the staples for us.
Yeah. Brandy and Coke translates, double brandy and Coke translates to $2.11.
God damn, that's cheap.
For a drink.
Yeah.
Doubles, it's a stiff one. So in other words, when you go up to a bar and you ask for a stiff drink and they give you a double of something, that's pretty much what you're going to pay for, $2.11. British pound.
I don't know, even less, like maybe not even two pounds.
£1.50.
Something like that.
Badge. It's raining outside.
Fuck you.
Our washing is up. It isn't? Our washing's not up. I didn't take it down.
No,
Then it's wet. Okay.
how much?
And €1.70 for euro for a double brandy and coke. It's relatively cheap. 25 rand here is pretty cheap anyway. Clippy some cola, anything like that. So yeah, we're looking into, like, it's an open bar. Best thing about said bar is that they do accept cards, and secondly, they can run you a tab for the entire weekend.
Which would be bitchin', especially if everyone's wearing name tags for the whole convention. I'm pretty sure they'd like easily be able to determine who's running the tab.
So Sudan tells us a story about a brandy and coke that costs 65 rand.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm pretty sure that's like Cape Town prices.
Badge?
Huh?
How much did we buy a bottle of brandy for?
What, when?
No, we bought a bottle. We bought a bottle of brandy recently with a coke for just under $100.
Yeah, well, that must be Rock Gut brandy.
No, it wasn't. It was Cape Hope.
Cape Hope is Rock Gut, dude.
Cape Hope isn't Rock Gut. We actually had it clean. Bowls. Oh yes, it was Bowls brandy.
Oh, Bowls. Yeah. Still.
Is that also Rock Gut?
Still,
Okay, well, fine. Tell us what kind of brandy you like.
Call me fancy and poo, but at least like, if you're gonna be drinking, at least make it like Wolfbach, if it has to be. Otherwise, get something a little bit better. Coffee for 3 years, not bad.
Wolfbach is literally just the same kind of Rotgut as the other two that you're just calling out. No, granted, Wolfbach is really, really sweet when you drink it clean.
Which is what you like.
I remember. I love drinking brandy clean, apparently. That's a thing that I do now.
I mean, sweet stuff. You very much have a sweet tooth.
I don't.
What? Yes, you do.
Osblut, buddy.
Oh.
The only reason why we're drinking sweet red wine currently is because Badge's palate is a bit different. Also, it's cheaper. Speaking of wine, we're going to pay our respects
to
the blood of the cask.
The what with the what now?
The blood of the cask, the blood of the natural sweet Delush wine, 5 liters of it. So yes, just so you guys know, don't buy a box of wine that says Delush on it if you expect to believe what's written on the side of it. This box currently says that it's a natural sweet red that teases all of your senses with midnight chocolate and creamy butterscotch and caramel flavors. Best enjoyed with real flair, bold expression, and a dash of mystery. A real flair for expression. It's fucking box wine. It literally doesn't change taste at all. But apparently this is what it says on the side of the box, and I don't believe it 1 second.
I kind of want to say that depends because what's his name?
There's an Adam ruins everything about what you're about to say.
No, I mean what I'm about to say is that depending on brand, I mean Tassis. For any South African who is aware of what Tassenberg is, that's just like blended scraps. Tassenberg isn't like a winery in and of its own. It just takes...
It's a mixed bag.
It takes cultivars from every, like, sort of the lower quality cultivars from a lot of different farms, blends the thing together, and sells that under its brand. It's not fantastic wine at all. I kind of feel like that box wine kind of falls in the same category in that, like, this is a grab bag of the snippings, essentially.
Bravura tells me to buy wine in bottles. I tell him to fuck off. This is all I can afford.
Yeah.
This is like this is a good night out.
Come back to Cape Town. We have cheap wine here.
Yeah, well, I mean, it won't be cheap any longer because drought.
Yes, I know. Thank you for rubbing it in.
I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm just comparing. That'll cost about as much as a bottle of wine these days.
What does?
A glass of water.
Oh, we are like everyone who can essentially afford to is just stocking up. I saw a guy fill 4 trolleys with a bunch of like 5 liter Valpray bottles. The panic is setting in. It's fucking scary.
No, I could imagine. Tussie's is closest I ever got to throwing up from alcohol. Fair enough. Barbara will bring wine to the con if he gets it through customs. And we can't drink it at the con. We just mentioned that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But yes, what's the word? Tassenberg. You can actually get some relatively good bottles out of Tassenberg. But there is that day that you will be put off of Tassenberg completely when you decide that you go to a bar and they sell either by the glass or by the bottle.
Yeah.
And you decide, well, I'm going to spare a couple of rand and I'm going to buy the bottle. And so you do. And then you realize that you've bought a bottle that apparently tastes like feet.
Yeah. See, like finding a good bottle of Tassis is kind of like finding a really cool couch at the dump.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing. It's like Tassenberg is the dumpster diving of wine.
So anyway, Getaway Coaches, as it does say on our website at www.south-afrifur.co.za, it's situated 30 minutes east of Pretoria, 50 minutes drive from Johannesburg, Owatambo, and I believe also around about 30 minutes from Lanseria. No, wait, it isn't. It's about 50 minutes from Lanseria as well, because Lanseria is on the other side of Centurion, which is kind of the same distance. But Lanseria, just so you know, those of you guys who are traveling, Lanseria is the... Are you okay?
I picked up a thing, sorry.
Okay. Lanseria is the second airport in Gauteng, but they're kind of equidistant from where you're going, sort of. It's a grab bag. I think it's around about 50 minutes. So, yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Okay, cool. We have a donation from Windy. That is definitely Windy. Yes.
Already.
It says, make SAFC great again. Not that we were ever bad or America. No offense, Kit. But yeah, so thanks, Andy. Really appreciate it. Has to be white wine. I think red will stain my fur. I'll
point.
fix it.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely fix it. Yeah, why not? Why don't I just have a red belly from here on out? Wine stained red belly is sort of like dripped.
I'm gonna rub you with it.
You want to rub me with anti-rash? Okay. So that is that. I don't know. Do you guys have any questions here? I know Wonderboom Airport is 4 minutes away, but I don't think Wonderboom will allow people to have international flights there. Either that or they're not. I don't know. I don't actually know. So gonna raise my hands and plead innocence somehow.
Yeah, that's the one thing that the con cost does not cover. Transport to the venue.
Yeah.
Just
However, we are opening up both on the SAFCFur forum. There is a place for people who want to travel and carpool together. We do have the general chat for people to begin to organize lift and so on and so forth to the venue itself as well. So those are all the things that we can actually look into. For that, again, guys, please ask questions about what you want to hear in respect to, not what you want to hear, but what you want to hear us answer for the convention itself. Bathing in wine? Why would I ever do that? That's
Uncle
a waste
Kage?
of... Did Uncle Kage bathe in wine?
No, just sounds like something he might do.
Secondary challenge to Uncle Kage.
God damn it! We still have to send him his wine. I have 2 bottles here.
Yes. Oh, we need to get an address.
Oh, it's just 2. Like, I feel like we need to send him at least 6.
Well, we can send him 2. We can send him a box wine of Delash. But we need to find like a dry version of it.
Yeah, remember
He likes dry whites.
Dry whites and Rieslings and
Yes.
Gewurz, if we can find any.
Mm-hmm. Historical site visiting might be a bit more difficult to do. That's got to do with transportation and things like that in and around Pretoria. The venue itself is, again, it's around about 30 to 40 minutes away from Pretoria itself. We'll look into that. Maybe we have like a day trip with a couple of furs who want to go and see, the statue of Mandela. You want to go to the Union Building, and so on and so forth. We can possibly arrange a day like that. We're also looking into possibly, depending on depending on funds, shuttles from Oratumbu. But again, that is going to be that's not a necessity currently in our minds, particularly because of cost allocation for it. I mean, it is a 40-kilometer trip, and a 40-kilometer trip in what's the word, from Oratumbu, no less. It probably puts you over in like maybe 400 rand for the trip from the airports to where we want to be.
In an Uber.
In an Uber, yeah.
Oh, damn.
We can possibly look into taxi services. I know that Badge has actually mentioned that you want to get into contact with somebody who has a taxi service. We'll look into it.
I can bring him up.
Okay, we'll look into taxi services. It gets cold in the winter this side, but not as cold as America or Europe currently. Like, there are no negative evenings, nothing in the negative Celsius here. The lowest that it gets to is around about 5 degrees, depending on whereabouts we are. If it's flat land, it might be 5 degrees.
It's not quite Sutherland, so yeah.
Yeah, it's not Sutherland. Though it does mean pack like a double jersey and a jacket or 3.
And
for those of you coming from, and then closed shoes, yes. folks can have the Gautrain station, Gautrain to Hatfield station. And what we can then do is possibly look at least organizing a particular time that people have to be there, so that we can do a pick up and go.
Dude,
If of course you guys want to come.
Dude, no joke. Like from Gautrain is already, it's already 150 rand on the Gautrain.
Yeah, but it's better than 400 to 500 rand on Uber just to get to the Gautrain station as well. It's
true. I suppose you make a good point.
We'll look into something like this. That is something that we do still need to talk about. Those are the nitty-gritty things that we need to get down to in respect to some of the meetings that we will have. It gets cold at night, yes, as Sudan says. I think max temperatures mostly for Pretoria during this time of year is around about 18, 17 degrees, 21 depending on the kind of crispness in the air. Doesn't rain as much in the summer of this way as it should in Cape Town eventually. I believe this year is your year. It will rain in Cape Town, and it will rain hard.
Fuck, I hope so. We really need it. Also, the con's going to be in our winter, so it doesn't rain there in the winter. You said in the summer.
Oh, bleh.
Yeah. But yeah, regardless, the point stands. Pretoria is the whole Gauteng is mostly a summer rainfall district, so should be fine.
Yeah. Let me see. What else is on this list of things that I need to talk about?
Yeah.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
I guess we could probably talk about the things that we're going to put on raffle this year.
Yeah.
Just find Tempo's name here. Tempo. I'm gonna be talk typing here.
That's fine.
Kyell.
Kyle.
What's his book? Out of Position, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Tempo has very graciously, actually lovingly, said that would we be interested in signed hardcovers of the first 2 Out of Position books, signed by Kyle Gold. Oh, to Tempo, but the thing is that they're still signed by him. Their going price normally is, if I'm not mistaken, $40 unsigned for the hard copy of it. Also signed by both halves of Blotch.
Yeah. And signed, it's priceless.
So that, yes. So that is part of the raffle that we're going to be putting up. So yeah, those are things that you guys can get by coming here.
We'll line up some commissions from local artists that are up for raffle as well.
Yeah, I know Sudan said that she's up for that kind of challenge as well, beyond being the artist for our con badges. But again, she is considering putting up a couple of raffle pictures and things like that.
We can chat to Ad buy some copies of his book.
Yes, I have as well copies of his book. Forgot the title. Why is it that the other? Now I've got Always Grey in Winter. I've got Always Grey in Winter stuck in my head, but that's not the one.
I feel horrible now. Rewritten. Rewritten. Yes,
there we go.
Get it.
Yes, so we do have a whole bunch of things coming from Tempo's side. This includes, actually, as he said, with the box that he'll be sending, T-shirts from other conventions that will also be going up for raffle. And again, obviously, all the raffle proceeds go to our charity of choice. Sudan says she had died because I think it's the cold, I guess. It's not that cold. It really is.
It's not Sutherland. I keep saying that.
Yeah, it's not Sutherland, which is minus 15 in the sun.
Fucking a billion, yeah.
But it never snows. It's so close to the mountains. That's the reason, isn't it? Mountains and wind.
Yeah, makes for a good observatory.
Yeah. What else is there to talk about in respect to this?
I had something on my mind, but I completely forgot.
Right.
What?
Arsenal and Dealers Den are going to be open. I know that there's been a couple of requests for those things to be lengthened, especially the Dealers Den. I remember that we gave 2 hours last year to sort of set up an ad hoc. If anything, we'll probably try to open that up to as long as possible. If there's any downtime in places like that, we'll allow for people to just, get down and, talk about their work and things like that. But because, again, we're still a relatively small convention, so we don't necessarily see a need, in essence, of
Like
extending time that...
a fully dedicated dealers den or artist alley. We can, like last year we put out some tables and gave an afternoon where people put out their work and other people signed up for commissions and stuff like that. It was sort of nothing orchestrated, but it was going on for quite some time.
Yeah. So again, and I mean, we're looking into poker, we're looking into the horse riding, we're looking into the quad biking, yes, there is in fact an archery range there. Badge and I will definitely make use of said archery range, particularly because both of us enjoy shooting, and goodness knows that will be probably the first time we've shot in months at that point, if we don't shoot at any given point between now and later. But yeah, we really do enjoy shooting. Obviously, it's going to be like 20 meters at best. They don't want to go too far back because we're afraid that people might just kill the livestock or the furries. Yeah. No, you don't get to turn around while doing that.
This is not game shooting. We are like keep the range in front of you clear kind of thing.
Yeah. So there's obviously that. There's a whole bunch of other things. What else is there?
I will be bringing along my enormous stash of board games again for any furs who would like to borrow them or start some games during the downtime. Like last year, we essentially just ended up playing what's his name, Secret Hitler until like literally for the entire weekend. It feels like.
Yeah, I think that, and that's one of the things that we're definitely going to try and do. Not necessarily Secret Hitler, but Badge, myself, and Sudan in particular, as well as Valerian, have been getting very, very sort of involved in playing Tempo and Kenket and Tegan's board game that they actually created, that being Nordgard. And we'd definitely love to have more people play that. It's one hell of a fun game where you can start shouting at people for having a very bad dice roll.
Like you do.
Yes. So there's that. Right. Bravura just sent me another message about a donation that was coming through here. Fairly large donation at that. $38 US.
Woo!
From Leonardo. We really appreciate that, Leonardo. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow. That's... What?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for... Yeah.
Thank you for your generosity.
Also with the words, I hope I can make it. Yeah, really, really appreciate it. Thanks so much for that. Leonardo. Who?
When did you turn into an owl?
You do realize that the next part I'm going to start doing is, who are you?
Like for some reason I was just like the way Lisa Kudrow says "who" in the start of the second season of BoJack Horseman just sort of kept running through my mind.
Who?
You know what
Okay.
I'm talking about that.
Yeah. No, I got you. Well, Leonardo, whoever you are, possibly just say your name in chat and say, I am Leonardo, and you'll be my...
Here, let me throw you a
Teenage Mutant
lifeline.
Ninja Turtle.
Thank
Teenage
you,
Mutant Ninja Turtle.
thank you, Leonardo. We are incredibly grateful for your donation. Like, we'll put it to good use. We'll see if we can get some cool raffle prizes out of it. Maybe up the quality of any of the like bandanas or T-shirts or whatever. We'll put it to good use regardless.
Still nothing. Oh.
What else was there? What did we do last time?
Ooh.
Yeah?
Leonardo, by the way. Sudan, who is obviously in chat here as well on the live chat. If we can get your details, and Windy, Sudan would like to do a sketch for the two of you for your donations.
Aw.
I know, right?
Thank you, Sudan. Thank you for being so accommodating of our donators. Donors?
Yeah. Blood donors? I need blood. I need a new kidney.
No, you don't. Your kidneys are fine. Shut up.
I need a liver. For unrelated reasons. I'm going to pull. I'm going to pull a what was it? You don't have any organs, Invader Zim.
Oh.
And I'm just going to consume everybody's organs to ensure that I'm more human than everybody else's. I need a new liver and two kidneys preferably. 3 would be fine so long as it's working. And probably around about 3 or 4 heart. Because mine's black and dying.
Just in case the one stalls out.
Huh? Am I lying?
You're one of the softest mofos around.
It's not good when your boyfriend calls you soft.
No, I'm not that soft. I'm actually hardening the fuck up.
I'm gonna need to say.
Shut up, Badge. Just shut the fuck up.
This is Stefan. His name is Stefan. Harden the fuck up, Stefan.
Harden the fuck. Yeah. Yeah, no, we've been gymming. I intend to be wearing a fair amount less by July, so that I can, I don't know, fit into tighter shirts again.
Like, no joke, I kind of don't want to start gymming now just because I can't shower as frequently as I'd like to, and I do tend to sweat a lot, so like the water restrictions keeping me from gymming.
Yeah, I can just imagine you playing a game of squash, and like you take the bucket from your shower, and you take it to the squash court, and you just sit there going sploosh, and then you're done. That's your shower.
Yeah. Like at this point, it's more along the case of like, yeah, like I'm doing everything I can to like not use any water. I shower like twice a week or so. We only flush with grey water at the house. I think the most water that I actually use is like in a day is on average to drink.
No, I can imagine that. I like my sympathies with you guys actually. Like, I mean, I can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah, we need
Speaking
to
of
make a shit ton of rain.
Yeah. Apparently, they say that if it rains constantly during winter for the next 3 years, your dams will still not be full.
No, I don't think it'll be that hard, but it's gonna be difficult.
That's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, I'm really hoping that this El Niño thing that happened over the last 3 years, that with the rain up in Johannesburg, hopefully the weather itself changes significantly. Any case, weather aside, here in South Africa, it's hot as balls. It's always going to be hot as balls in the summer. Yep. It just doesn't stop. Leonardo has actually said that Ivic is weird. Thank you, Leonardo. That's my
in other news, the sky is blue.
Ebony's here as well. Hello, Ebony. Leonardo is online. Here is Leonardo. Leonardo, if you can, just send me a private message with your details, probably an email address and things like that. Windy, the same for you, so that I can get that through to Sudan She's actually here online as well. If you just want to send it to her directly, you're more than welcome to. She'll probably also, she's going to be our con artist. We see great potential in her art. So, Badge says that it's nipple touchingly good.
Thanks, Badge. Way to bring it down to earth.
Yeah. Way to bring it down to earth, Badge. Okay. Hey?
Okay. See how.
He apparently carries kayak and says how is. Kit is singing I Miss the Rains Down in Africa. No, Africa misses the rains down in Africa.
Yeah. Seriously. Did you have fun with your own little joke there?
Yeah. Sorry. Galahad is online.
Again, please.
But yes, Galahad is. Never do that or do it more often.
Never do that again.
Okay. Galahad is online, which is awesome. We have run out of things to talk about, haven't we?
It kind of seems like that.
Yeah. Oh, right. So there was an interaction on Twitter that I had with Uncle Kage recently, which I'm not necessarily sure whether I should feel good about or bad about. Badge says that I should feel good about this. I had a similar interaction with Potteroo, so I'm not necessarily sure how this feels. Potteroo, I was speaking to him like one-on-one on Telegram, but it started with me talking, or like Uncle, they put down a list of things that you should not do, one of them being don't run a furry convention. And I was like, crap, we're already running a furry convention. And then another person said,
shit.
Don't challenge, yeah, exactly. Don't challenge Uncle Kage to a drinking competition. And I was like, challenge accepted. And so I gave a runoff of the kind of stuff that I drink a lot of the time, and in what time frame that I do drink this. Uncle Kage then said, you win. And I was sitting there going like, I don't know what's going on here.
I think it's more just a case of like one of those sort of superpowered person uses their power for inadvertent evil and swears never to do it again kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. No. We told Potter what we had for lunch. But we'll talk about that just now. So Uncle Kage says you win, and I was like, okay, I don't know what to do with this. He says, I don't take drinking challenges. People get hurt. And I was like, okay.
That.
Understood. Yes, that. So, Potteroo at one point, we were trying eventually, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, if we do have enough money and things like that, attempting to get Potteroo all the way from Canada to come down to our convention, maybe teach us a thing or two as well, that we didn't necessarily know, even though we asked him to teach us a thing or two otherwise. Speaking of which, he will probably be on the podcast at some point this year. Yeah. So, Potteroo, for those of you guys who don't know, runs
Camp
Farrell up in Canada. So we also, well, I pretty...
The Canadian wilderness.
Yes. And I also told him, you know what, like, if you do come down here, we should totally get drinks. By this point, while I was talking to Potteroo, I was also out for a lunch with Badge. And we'd had 4 double brandies and Coke. A Budweiser. Budweiser's terrible, by the way.
It is.
And then a double scotch on the rocks, and that was lunch. And we were feeling ready to just continue drinking, but it was also middle of the week. Middle of the day. No, well, work was cancelled because our internet was offline, and all of us were just sitting around and doing nothing, and Badge was off that day, so we decided that we were going to go out for a couple of drinks. Yeah. There's a lot of banter in here. Apparently I lose friends by joking about water. A Badge is a precious treasure and we love him, says Kit.
We still on that.
Badge is confused about why this is the thing that's being said. He's also taken.
I'm still not fully on board with all that though.
Which part? What?
The Badge is a treasure thing.
Apparently Scratch is saying that he's not on board with the idea that you're a treasure.
Not fully on board.
He's not fully on board with it. He's like 1 foot on the train.
Considering you're on a podcast, I feel like I have to say beep 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 because it's all censored and I don't want to get you guys banned from free.
Okay.
There you have it, from the horse's mouth. I mean, badger's mouth. Badger cat's mouth.
Love you too, Badge.
He says he loves you too.
This is the dopiest laugh ever.
My Halo is authentic, I assure you, says Galahad. Clever boy. But Budweiser is Merca. No.
Unfortunately, like, the unfortunate story there is that... Excuse me, just moving my mic a bit. The unfortunate story there is that Anheuser-Busch, who owns the right to Budweiser, bought out South Africa's biggest brewing company, SAB.
Mm-hmm.
So now SAB is pushing Budweiser everywhere. Even
Speaking
in...
of which, they come in the nicest little metal bottles now. Red metal bottles.
Too bad it tastes like shit.
Piss.
It tastes like strained bread drippings. It's not good.
Strained bread. That is a new one. You usually used to say irradiated horse urine.
Yeah, like I think I've overused that one, and it's not quite on the same level of disgusting. It's like it just tastes so bland.
It's not Castle Light.
Well, Castle Light, even Castle Light, it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. At least that has a flavor to it. Heineken is, I kind of prefer Windhoek.
Irradiated horse? Ooh, yeah, Windhoek's great. Heineken's terrible.
Heineken's okay. It's okay.
Beyond that, Erdringer Weissbier is absolutely fucking amazing. Agreed. We used to. What happened to that brewery in Cape Town, by the way?
Which one? Polana?
Yeah, Polana.
It's still making beer, but it's not in the waterfront anymore.
Where did it go?
I don't know, dude. Like, Cape Town spoils for breweries, so yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Micro brewery.
Yeah, among many other things. There's one literally up the street from my work.
Lucky girl.
This is called Stone Circle Brewery.
Stone what?
Stone Circle.
Huh, okay. Beer drippings. Bread drippings, Sudan. Bread drippings.
Yeah.
Yeah. German beer is better than any other beer. I'm not gonna... It's... there are some South African microbreweries that are really, really good.
Well, there are some like even SAB actually kind of holds its beer to a high regard, and a lot of people hold SAB, like SAB's beer to a high regard, at least for now. I have not had the pleasure of trying authentic German or Bavarian or Belgian beer to be able to
it was
say
literally
that yet.
it was brewed like anything from Polaner was brewed at that Polaner by German people. So following the Reinheitsgebot.
Yeah, well, you the same, like, apparently, what's his name? Windhoek is also brewed according to the Reinheitsgebot, but I mean, can we describe Polana as authentic German beer?
It's mainstream authentic German beer. In German, that's pretty much like drinking a castle. I think.
Yeah, I heard as much. But yeah, I actually want to try like actual... I want to go into a beer house in Munich and try some like German beer. It's still very much on my bucket list.
There was a thing that I wanted to read here. Right, of course. Badge, what was that beer?
3 Franson Street.
3 Franson Street Cream Ale.
Okay.
It's a South African brewery.
Mm-hmm.
It is a South African brewery, right? I don't know where it's situated, but the thing is that the cream ale is...
It's in the name, dude.
I don't know where the fuck Franson Street is, okay?
Okay.
But in any case, so it's a South African brewed beer that is absolutely mind-blowingly good. That you can get here. I know that the one retailer that sells it, not in bottle, but by draft, is Malt, Pure in Pretoria and Equestria. Absolutely just to die for. It's a creamy beer. Literally a creamy beer.
Hence the name Cream Ale.
Yes, it's absolutely amazing. I
I should-
rate it as. Hmm? No,
What was that?
no.
What?
SAB's buying number 3 Franson Street Beer House.
Really?
Bob Beer House.
It's brewed by Beer House.
Hmm.
So, in other words, SAB's literally buying over Beer House recently, and that means that Anna Bush sells it.
Like the beer house. Like.
The Beer House, yes.
Hmm.
They're not buying it over. They're just, what, selling it for them?
No, they're not.
Oh, Camdor. Okay. Okay. Thank God.
Oh, no.
Damn it! Would you just make up your fucking mind? Okay. Because
So
Google
what-
is trustworthy.
What's happening?
No, we're just trying to find out where 3 Franson Street is.
Have we not discovered it?
Wolves movie, again, with the amazing animation and beautiful ending.
Yeah?
Right, the one with the Rickroll.
The what now?
That movie that we watched at the con last
Oh.
year
Alright.
with the wolves.
I have no idea what that was. Like I think I fell asleep.
It was a Russian movie.
Was it?
Yeah. You know what? You know what? Okay, fine. Since we're talking about movies, right? There was a movie that was going to like release in 2015. Tell me if any of you guys have heard about this. It was called Robodog, but not the shitty Robodog with the like dog that gets hit by a car and dies, and then somehow there's this almost Pet Cemetery-esque kind of thing that happens where the dog is resurrected as a fucking robot. Okay, I'll calm down. But this Robodog was created by one or other studio. They have a clip out. Literally, it's the robot version of Homeward Bound, and I was actually very, very happy that like it could have been coming out, and then I realized that it was never going to be released. I mean, it had Ron Perlman in it. Come on,
Okay.
you know Ron Perlman.
I know Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman.
Yeah. Sheep and Wolves, of course. Thank you, Halsey.
Was that the name of that movie?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna watch that.
You might need to line something up though.
Of things that we can also possibly do, and this is something that we were actually approached by and then never really got a follow-up email from them. The guys who did emails. Where are you people? Seriously?
I'm waiting in suspense.
It should be here. There should be an email for this. It's in my social. It shouldn't be in my social at all. I couldn't have deleted it. Glue Studios, who did Rimba Racers. If anybody is in any way like familiar with Rimba Racers, it's on Daily Motion, if I'm not mistaken, like at least the first season. First 3 episodes don't necessarily do much for my confidence of the entire thing, but everything past that just got amazing. Like I watched it fully on my own once, and then Badge watched it with me, and I watched it twice, and I was like, very, very good. It's actually a really, really cool like concept of a movie series. It's literally animals driving around in cars a la Wacky Racers style.
That sounds interesting, to say the least.
It is, yeah. So yeah, if you guys haven't heard of Rimba Racers, try to check them out on their Daily Motion. Have a look at it and see if you guys like this or not. I know that we absolutely like it. Frank and Weenie is definitely not the movie that
Fido?
anybody Fido, of course, that's always that one as well. No, Robodog. Just Robodog. Absolutely. Everything about it looked like it would have been at least fun to watch. Kind of Homeward Boundy, 1990s kind of vibe in the way that it sort of puts things out, but also like that kind of foreign touch to it as well, where everything seems to be okay. Sheep versus wolves, sheep and wolves, stylish kind of thing, but dialogue seemed a lot more in sync. The premise seemed to be interesting. Granted, the villains in that movie seemed like they came out of what's that movie now? Where there are two villains trying to Home Alone. They seemed very Home Alone, very very Home Alone-esque kind of villains. But it looked like a great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, go onto YouTube and just look for Robodog, single word, Robodog animated, actually, because otherwise you're just going to get a whole bunch of the live action Robodog, which I believe tanked very, very badly in the box.
Can't imagine why.
Mm. Well, I mean, look, one of the other people that they got to cast for that was one of the guys from, what's that singing show, movie?
Sing?
With dancers?
Mm-hmm.
Dancers and singers, and a cappella. Movie.
Pitch Perfect?
Yes. I believe one of the guys from Pitch Perfect was also going to be in there.
Really?
Windy asks, if a prawn from District 9 was a fursona, what would the color scheme be with those neon furs?
Oh,
Actually, there's an artist who draws prawns on a relatively...
On a relatively?
Hmm?
On a relatively what?
No, hold on. On a relatively like cool basis, but not necessarily neon colors. Let me see. District 9 art
Fucking prawns.
image. Ha! You're not the guy that I'm looking for.
You're not my dad.
Cat food, cat food, cat food, cat food. Are you the guy that I'm looking for?
You sound so unsure of yourself.
Why are you carrying a lightsaber? Okay, maybe look for this. District 9 furry art? Oh god.
Are you sure you want to go down
Cat
that
food,
road?
cat food, cat food, cat food, porn, cat food, cat food.
I would...
Let me see.
I
No, I
would
can't
pay-
find it.
I would pay money to spend time inside your psyche. Like, all the shit that you're rambling off right now, it's like...
Do you
wild.
really, though?
It'd be
Do
a
you
wild,
really?
wild ride.
Well, at least look. I mean, if you do want to be in my psyche,
Yep.
do me a favor and
Yeah.
tell me what I dream about.
Like,
Because I cannot, for the life of me, I don't. Badge remembers his own dreams. I can't remember shit.
I remember a fair amount of mine. Not all of them, for sure, but I mean...
I wake up every single day thinking, like, there is no such thing as dreams for me.
Really?
I don't dream, but I know that I'm dreaming because Badge says that I have restless nights.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't dream. I don't know what these dreams are. I talk in my fucking sleep, but I don't know what my own goddamn dreams are.
That seems normal.
Yeah, completely normal. I am obviously not a psychopath. Those of you guys who don't know, that is actually one of the things and signs of people being psychopaths. They don't dream.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, one of the
It
other
was
signs-
it was in one of those 10 signs you're a psychopath things that you... So I question validity.
Yeah, well, one of the major things about being a psychopath or a sociopath is an inability to feel empathy for other people, which I believe you definitely do not have. So scratch that off the list.
I empathize way too hard.
Exactly. So you cannot be a sociopath.
I love Wendy's comment here. Google's District 9 furry art. Cat food, porn, cat food.
Yeah. Taken out of context, a lot of the shit we say here is just like, what?
Nobody go to YouTube and check our other podcasts. Please.
Yeah. Some strange things have come out of there.
Yeah. Huh. Uh. So yeah. There is art out there. I'm pretty sure that people have tried to draw their own prawn sona.
That's not a thing.
Actually,
That'll never
that's
be a
totally a
thing.
thing that I need to check for. Prawn sona. Prawn soup.
Please tell me it's not a thing. Please, for the love of God, tell me it's not a thing.
It's not a thing. Hold on.
Yes.
District
Faith in humanity restored.
9 sona.
I wonder.
Actually,
Oh God. Really?
this is a District 9 sona.
Well, at least it's not like on the same level as, I don't know, like gem sonas or stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder like how many people jumped aboard the furry train when Zootopia hit.
More people than you know. It's
Yeah,
actually very nicely done, but it is also very neon. There's a District 9 sona.
Where'd you put
Fuck a
it?
prawn.
Fucking.
I put it on the. I'll put it onto. I'll put it onto our Discord.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Sweetie man. I love Shota Copley in that movie. It's just so, like, Vickers van der Merwe remains like the most Afrikaans, like reluctant Afrikaans human being ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's well drawn. With a
Yeah.
PlayStation in the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
It's very, very cute. Well, I mean, at least it generated as much as like that from the prawn sona. Apparently, Windy needs one now. That's great. Yeah. Whoa, yes. So one of the things that I do actually want to talk about is the way forward for South Afrifur as the radio show.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that we are kind of talking about is random game streams where Scratch and I will play a game together on Twitch, possibly on Furry.fm's Twitch site and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
where they kind of host us doing this kind of stuff. I'm not sure how we're probably going to do that. I don't know what kind of games we're going to look into doing, but we'll
Preferably-
consider that.
Yeah, preferably
Mhm.
things that neither of us have really spent a lot of time doing. Because I mean, if I start a new game of Terraria right now, I would just blaze through everything.
Actually, both of us would.
Yes, like both of us spent like so much time in Terraria,
Mm-mm.
and right now, this fucking farm thing is taking up so much of my life. Also, I spent the weekend playing the Sea of Thieves closed beta.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good. Aside from like a whole bunch of like little technical niggles, the game concept is like really solid.
But how often, Scratch, how often have you played Shovel Knight?
Not too often. I think I did finish it though, but I don't play it frequently.
We should totally do Shovel Knight or something along the lines of that. Like just a quiet stream. But like again, we're looking into possibly expanding times or using a Sunday for either gaming streams beyond just the music and whatnot, just to be a bit more interactive. Get people to start, listening to some of the music that we're playing, so on and so forth.
Face cam still not gonna happen. Face cam still
Face
not gonna
cam.
happen.
Yeah, no, I need to lose weight for that.
I need a new face for that.
No, man.
Maybe if I grow my beard long enough, I can like tie it up like into a mask.
You could try to grow the beard that Candy Mundy has.
Who?
Candy Mundy.
I have no idea who that is.
He's a guy who reviews League of Legends. He's
Okay.
funny at times. He's also British.
speaking of faces and people who review League of Legends, have you seen what Donkey looks like? Video game Donkey.
He's okay. What do you think about him?
I expected him to be of a different ethnicity,
Which ethnicity?
not white.
Fair enough. For some reason, and is this just because he hangs out with Sky Williams?
No, not at all. It's just his. There's a cadence in his voice that sounds like he's not like. I don't know. It doesn't
Have
make.
you heard Eminem?
Yeah, but first, I don't know. There's a weird cadence in his voice that, for some reason, doesn't strike me as the standard white American accent.
Okay.
That's just me.
Maybe
though.
he just grew up in the West End of some place. I don't know.
I was just saying his stuff. I love his stuff. It's just like I was quite not taken aback. I was surprised when like I learned what it looked like.
Yeah. Look, I mean, there's a lot of games out there that we can possibly look into doing. Maybe like look into like two player indie games and shit like that.
I have. Oh, there are. I'm pretty sure there are quite a few of those like, sort of asymmetric. Asymmetric's not really isn't really gonna work in a stream kind of thing, but yeah, we can definitely look into stuff like that because maybe we can try Portal 2 perhaps. A bit like
Portal 2 would be fun. I haven't played Portal 2 at all.
The multiplayer.
At all.
Ooh, okay. We'll take a look.
Well, I've played the single player obviously, but I haven't played the multiplayer.
Okay.
And I think I actually have it on queue for download. I just haven't opened it up.
What, Portal 2 just in general or?
No, Portal 2. I've got Portal 2 on my Steam.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so those are things that we want to look into doing. Oh yeah, and obviously, if you guys want, we do have a little bit of an itinerary of things that we want to do in respect to the interviews that we have. Currently, I've mentioned Potteroo might want to join up again. Matthew Ebel, I randomly spoke to somewhere within this week. He has a new album coming out. It's going to be very, very interesting. I believe it's going to be EDM.
Oh, fascinating.
So yeah, he's trying his hand at EDM.
Okay.
And we're gonna. I remember when he first told me, because me and EDM don't necessarily. I have issues with it at times, just repetitiveness and so on and so forth. I asked him, but why do you go into EDM? He said it's a long story and maybe we can do a podcast about it. Like I didn't ask him. He just said, we should do a podcast on it if that's the case. So that's awesome.
Nice.
We Were Here is apparently also a good game that we can look into. Halcyon says.
We Were Here. We'll take the opportunity to Google that right now.
So yeah, we're looking at expanding just a little bit and seeing what we can do with the radio station and with Furry.fm to see if we can, both grow our and Furry.fm's listener base.
Oh, I've seen this.
Okay.
This looks good, and it's free.
Does it look like? Does it look like it requires a large amount of processing power?
Yes. No. Mental processing power or hardware processing power?
Hardware processing.
No, it does not.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Sweet. I'll definitely take a look into that.
Kid apparently loves EDM, so that's great. So Matthew Ebel is releasing an album right up Kit's alley. Yeah, so Matthew Ebel, one of the things that we're also trying to look into is, weirdly enough, we were talking about ethnicity just a little bit earlier. And one of the things that it's a personal project in my heart, in essence, to look at more different ethnicities within the furry fandom. We know that the fandom itself is like ethnically skewed by like a 95 to 5% sort of ratio. And one of the things that I've been trying to do is that I've been trying to contact people of different ethnicities to find out what their views on the fandom or how the fandom reacts to them, I guess, at times. I mean, we've had Dolmy on, for instance, and we've had also, what's it, at Spot My Tots on Twitter.
Witchy.
That was a thunder roll.
We've had Witchy.
Witchy Bunny as well. Who else?
I kind of think that's that. That's kind of the.
No. We had a third person on as well. He was an artist, and he did that animation, or that animatic for not even animatic. The thing for Tempo.
Isn't it Scapo?
Yes, Scapo, definitely Scapo. We had Scapo on as well, and we're looking into more different ethnicities within the fandom. And that, again, that's my more personal project that I really want to sort of like begin to talk about things like that, because again, one of my biggest things is that the South African fandom is whitewashed in essence. It's completely and utterly white, aside from like 4 people that I know of, out of like I think 600 people that have joined the
fandom thus far.
Yeah. We can probably also just we can also play Dota, League, Overwatch, and so on and so forth, and just create public lobbies with play with the radiocast and whatnot. Yeah. So those are all things that we're looking into in respect to the future radio show. Can you believe, what is it, this year we're going on 5 years?
Is it 5 already?
Is it?
I don't think so. I think it's closer to 3 or 4.
Let me check our YouTube.
Oh yeah, I've been very lax posting our YouTube stuff. I apologize for that. I know. I will very shortly post some more stuff.
Also, check out our YouTube channel. Where are we? Joined 2014, so this will be our 4th year.
Yeah.
September 21st, just so you know.
Yeah, I know it was somewhere in September.
Okay.
I think that should be it. We've covered a lot of con stuff.
Yeah. We've covered a couple of things for the radio show.
Yeah. We've covered radio show happenings. And we've allotted our hour and a half, so.
Yeah. Alrighty.
That's us for the evening.
That is us for this evening. Just so you guys know, obviously we're going to be playing music directly after this. As soon as we, I'm going to be going live with some tunes and stuff like that. Just listen for Matthew Ebel's "In the Muck," which is our intro song for now, until further notice. We'd like to thank Buglish, Ebony, Windy, of course, for their donation, as well as Leonardo for their donation.
Yes,
Halcyon, Galahad for listening, Kink and ZA, Kit and Trace for listening, Martin Z Fox, Sudan, Windy again, Wolfie, Yotes, Guest 254. There's probably a whole bunch of you guys who aren't on the live chat as well. We'd like to thank you all for listening to the podcast this evening. We're sorry that it's a bit madcap, but this is kind of what happens when we're given free reign.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. Wait until after 10 o'clock as well, if you guys are going to be listening. This is after 10 o'clock in Germany. That means that Germany is, what, 1 hour behind us now?
Yes, I believe so. I can't keep up with like daylight savings or whatever the hell, so yeah. Essentially, 20 minutes from now, that will be our 10 p.m.
Yeah, that'll be our 10 p.m. That'll be their 9 p.m. So at our 11 p.m., if you guys are going to continue listening, I will try to find the most risque songs that you have ever heard of. Most of them are going to be done by Steel Panther. Terrible, terrible songs. Absolutely the most misogynistic things that you've ever heard in your entire life. But goodness knows they compose songs so well.
You can always put on some Ninja Sex Party.
Of course, Ninja Sex Party sounds like a great idea. I should get some NSP.
NSP. Represent.
Okay. So yeah, if you guys are going to continue listening, please do. There is a requests button here as well. You guys can just click on that. It should open up either it should open up a separate window, and then you can request whatever song you'll find in my playlist. You'll have a look at my playlist as soon as I go online, and then we'll be playing that music. Beyond that, you can obviously just request music in chat, and I'll try to find it for you, and we can go from there. So thank you guys again. If you guys really feel like doing so, please do support the convention. If you're unable to come, we'll try to find ways to thank you guys as well. I know Sudan has just mentioned that she's willing to do sketches for donations. Really, really appreciate that again, Sudan. And Scratch, you were saying also?
Anyone donating also, please consider donating to our to Fur.fm, our platform. The generous people who have given us the opportunity to branch out as we have, and give us this like amazing opportunity, this forum to chat to you guys. It would be nice if you guys can throw some bones their way as well. They really deserve it, and they're sort of running this thing out of their own pocket in most cases.
Yeah.
So, for the most part. So, if you guys can consider chucking them a few pennies just to help sort of ease the load on the people working behind the scenes to bring you all of this content and all of this wonderful infrastructure that we're using, please do so.
And also keeping me on track in respect to updating you guys as to who and when we're going to be having interviews. Speaking of which, next week, and on that project that we're going to be looking, the project that I was talking about, we have an artist called Ebony Leopard, who will be joining us next week for that podcast. Keep your eyes open on our Twitter for updates in respect to that. We're just going to be doing banners and things like that. As soon as the banner is done, we'll have that up and running, and you know how it goes. It's work. So thank you guys for listening. Obviously, we're going to have the music next, and on that bombshell.
Thanks a lot, guys. We shall see you again next week.
Alrighty, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.